This summer, meet the magical mermaid at VGP Marine Kingdom from April 12th to May 31st.
Hello and a warm welcome to Federal's special program Capital Beat. 10 Lok Sabha seats in Haryana will go to polls on May 25th, even as BJP in the state stands reduced to a minority, which of course BJP denies. But the big question is that will BJP be able to repeat its 2019 performance when it had won all 10 Lok Sabha seats? Now, amidst a lot of issues which are there, a deepening agrarian crisis, caste dynamics, a multiplier effect with the wrestlers' protest which happened a few months back, how much of a chance can Congress really extract this time? These are the big questions which we'll try and answers for. And joining me now is Anil Tyagi, who's a veteran journalist, someone who follows very, very closely, especially the Haryana and Punjab. And of course, he's traveling across the country. Thank you so much, Anil Tyagi, for joining. We have Puneet Nicholas Yadav, senior editor with TheFederal, who's also been traveling and tracks national politics very, very closely. Thank you so much, Puneet. And I'd like to begin with Anil Tyagi today. Uh, how are the odds stacked up in Haryana's 10 seats? And I'm coming back to the same question which I asked, that will BJP, do you see BJP by any chance winning all the 10 seats, which it did in 2019?
It will be very difficult for BJP to win all the 10 seats. I do not know whether they will be able to open their account in Haryana. That will be a surprising thing. People are not predicting anything because of people are scared, because predicting election results is very difficult. But what we are observing in the field in Haryana, the situation is quite dismal for the BJP, and especially uh, see, Haryana is a very volatile state, or Haryana never repeats itself for last say around 40 years. What I have observed, except the Bhupinder Hooda or only the Bhupinder Hooda thing, which was there in 2009, which was also on a very low margin, And same thing in the BJP last time, which they won the election in 2019, the assembly elections I am talking about. They only won 40 seats. They were claiming to be 75 seats. They declared, but they just stopped themselves only on 40 seats. Had Dushyanth Chautala not been there, it would have been very difficult for them to form the government. So this has been the scenario there in the state. And what we are observing in the field in Haryana, the leaders of the Bharatiya Janata Party are not able to canvass. Uh, the villagers are stopping them, and they are asking questions. Even the Manohar Lal Khattar, the ex-chief minister of Haryana, is not able to move within his constituency or to talk about the state. Even yesterday, the Anil Vij, the former home minister, was there in the villages in the Ambala district. Then the villagers stopped him, and then he had to admit that as a home minister, I take the responsibility of firing on the villagers. And then they said, "Did you fire on the order for the fire on the villagers?" He said, "No, I take the responsibility, being a home minister, that the bullets were fired, and the people did not allow him to enter." Even Manohar Lal Khattar, he went day before yesterday in a Brahmin village, uninvitedly, and the Brahmins did not allow him to speak. See, the star campaigner of the BJP, Manohar Lal Khattar, is being humiliated, questioned by the people of Haryana, and the arrogance of the Mr. Manohar Lal Khattar is being taxed for the BJP, and that is very difficult for the BJP. Even I may not be surprised even if the 10 seats are wiped out from the bag of the BJP. People are counting on 6 or 4. Haryana's nature is not like this. They are on either this side or that side. They are not in between. Haryanvis don't behave in that fashion. And there is a there is a saddest pleasure in Haryana's voting pattern. they don't vote for to win the candidate. They vote for to defeat the candidate. And there is a typical word, particularly in that Haryana, कि अब की बार इसकी गोभी खोद देंगे. So they will dig out the grave of the candidate, So because they don't use the grave word, they use the go bhi khod denge. So that is the paradox in Haryana, that BJP,
Right.
which is claiming to form the government across India and claiming to be 400 par, 400 par ab ki bar. But in Haryana, I don't see, if there is no hera fairy in the election. I don't see, if the election is smooth, they may not be able to cross 1 or 2 or 3 seats, not more than that. Yeah.
Right. So you were saying that they might just be able to win 1 or 2 seats. You also said that there is a possibility that BJP might not be able to open its account. And of course, this is a paradox. You rightly mentioned, Anil, and I'm going to come to Puneet now, that on the other hand, I mean, BJP does hope to win a sizable number of seats across the country, but Haryana is one state where things are going horribly wrong for BJP. But what I want to ask you is, you've been following Congress also very closely, and the kind of factionalism which exists within the Congress camp. You have a Shelja Kumari, you have a Bhupinder Singh Huda camp. Now, because of all this factionalism, do you think that Congress as a united house will be able to extract a good chance this time, just because the sentiments are playing against BJP?
Well, Neil, there are two parts to your, two aspects to your question. One is the issue of infighting. The other is the issue of the issues that is the the issues that are there in the election, and whether the Congress is able to benefit from those. The BJP stands to be to suffer damages and all. Now, both of these aspects we'll need, in terms of the electoral results, we'll need to look at the proportionality in which the two work. There is no doubt, it's a fact that the Congress in Haryana is a divided house. We've seen that in the ticket distribution. We've seen that in the day-to-day functioning of the party. You're in a state where, of course, there's no dearth of leaders in the Congress, but then you have one, overarching leader in Bhupinder Singh Huda, who enjoys a clout across the state uniformly, almost. And then you've got these small satraps in different districts. So whether it's a Kiran Chaudhary or a Kumari Shelja, who've got very limited presence, but a presence nonetheless. And in the run-up to the elections, and also during the campaign, you've seen how when Huda is campaigning, he has his own set of people who he'll campaign with. He will not campaign, even though Kumari Shelja is contesting from Sirsa. She's had to change her constituency this election. She used to contest from Ambala previously. But you won't see a Huda campaigning for a Kumari Shelja. You won't see a Kumari Shelja campaigning for a Deepinder Huda, who's contesting from Rohtak. You won't see a Kiran Chaudhary going, and her constituency is Bhiwani Mahendragarh, which is right next to Rohtak. As the crow flies, about a half an hour drive. And she and her daughter Shruti Chaudhary, who wanted to contest from Bhiwani Mahendragarh and were not given a ticket, won't go to Rohtak to campaign. Randeep Surjewala, who's from Kaithal, will not go and campaign for the Huda camp. He'll campaign for Shelja. Kiran Chaudhary, of course, and the daughter have been thrown out of the campaign of the electoral race anyway. And then when you see the way the tickets were distributed, so it was out and out a Bhupinder Huda show, to the extent where people in the Congress were saying that he managed to get people tickets, not on winnability factor, but in fact quite contrary to it, to ensure that his rivals who stood a chance to win were not given tickets. So you had the sudden surprise entry of a Raj Babbar contesting from the Gurgaon seat,
Gurgaon,
you
yes.
know, uh, instead of a Captain Ajay Yadav. I'm not saying whether Ajay Yadav would have been a better candidate or a Raj Babbar is a better candidate, but the fact is that Raj Babbar was pushed into the Gurgaon contest not because he's a winning candidate, but because Captain Ajay Yadav, who is a local who has contested from that constituency previously, it's a different matter that he lost badly in 2019, but he has his own pockets of influence within that constituency, and there is a major Yadav vote bank. But he was not given a ticket. Similarly, Kiran Chaudhary's daughter Shruti Chaudhary, who wanted a ticket, irrespective of whether she would have won or not, was not given a ticket, and Rao Dan Singh was given a ticket from Bhiwani Mahendragarh. So those pulls and pressures in terms of infighting are there. The other aspect of your question is the issues, and that is where the Congress thinks that these internal skirmishes and internal, even the possibility of a sabotage, they will be able to tide over because the issues have taken such a strong hold of the electoral narrative in Haryana. And the issues there are, as you pointed out in the beginning, whether it's agrarian prices, it's unemployment, it's Agniveer. Agniveer is in Haryana, in a lot of places in Haryana, is a major issue. Then what happened with the women wrestlers, the Jat agitation, all of those. So now, which of these two work in a greater proportion would, I think, determine the results. So, if and the general sentiment from that one is picking up from the ground is that the issues have kind of taken over, and that's why the BJP is finding it so difficult to even campaign in a lot of the constituencies.
But if I may come to you, Anil, now how much of a chance of revival for INLD? Because that is also a regional party which has been quite prominent. It's been a prominent force in Haryana. How do you see the prospects of INLD in 2024 elections?
INLD election in 2024 will not have any impact, Abhay Chotala is
Chautala.
contesting from Kurukshetra, where the people of Kurukshetra has told him very clearly that your stakes are in the assembly, not in the parliament. So you will forgive us. We will not support you. You are very honorable politician here of the state, and we respect you because that area is has the influence of Om Prakash Chotara and Devilal. So they have categorically said to him, and the people now have understood one game that the BJP is using the Jat leaders to divide the Jats. But this has impacted negatively because even the division among the congressmen is not impacting the voter because they are not bothered because the issues are percolating down to their stomach, the hunger. Even Rahul Gandhi has very categorically today said, and Charki Dadri, that we will just throw this Agniveer Yojana in the dustbin. Let us come. We will do the regular recruitment because that area, particularly Bhiwani, Hisar, Sirsa, Jind, Rohtak, is the dominant area where the most of the recruits join the army. That is and Rahul Gandhi particularly said today because he could understand the pulse, or he must have been briefed by the local Congress by people that the Congress let us come to the power. We will Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. We will revive the concept of this in particularly in Haryana. We will compensate the farmers. So this is the see. I do not know whether across India the issues are very dominant in the elections or not. But in Haryana, the issues are very dominant. People are very sensitive. People are against Agniveer. People are against farmer agitation. They cannot forget in last 10 years how the roads have been blocked, how the water cannons have been used, how the farmers have been stopped, and how the police brutality has been there in the villages. Even the notice in the villages were put up their houses that if anybody participate in the farmer agitation, their properties will be confiscated. Under which law? Nobody understands. These issues are boomerang now on the face of the BJP. BJP does not have any answer. Otherwise, also in Haryana, if you want to understand the Haryana polity very clearly, Haryana BJP starts from Ambala and ends at Faridabad. That is called a GT Road party. That called is a Chungi party. They start from one Chungi and ends at the another Chungi. That's our. Both the sides of the GT road, the BJP is not there. Inside the GT road is the rural area, and this Jamnas and the GT road area in between. There is no BJP. BJP is in the cities, and cities are dominated by the Vaishya Samaj and the Punjabis. And the Punjabi, they have removed the Manohar Lal Khattar. Had the Manohar Lal Khattar would have been there would have been a consolation among the Punjabis. Okay, let us give the vote to the other. He is our chief minister. But now Sainis are only 3% in the state. Saini is not making the impact. And this whole de facto government model does not work in the state. So BJP is, and there are many groups in the BJP also. Anil Vij is sitting at home. Manohar Lal Khattar is sitting at the only campaigning. He is like behaving like a Modi in the state. Me and my sycophants, rest go and sit their home. That is the scenario in the state. It is not only the groupism there in within the Congress. There is a strong groupism there within the BJP. Jat's BJP leadership has been isolated. Punjab, even among Punjabis, the Punjabis have been isolated. Only Manohar Lal Khattar's group is fighting this election, and they are facing the consequences. They are not able to control the things. And after Nadda's, why he has taken the Mr. Nadda and Rajnath Singh at his constituency when he's sure and he's been a chief minister star campaigner? Is there no any other candidate in the state where they need or the national leaders are required to give the speech? No, that is not there. So what to do with it? The BJP is not able to understand it. And after this, even the RSS worker is completely annoyed when Nadda says that the BJP has outgrown from the clutches of the RSS. This statement has damaged. I do not know whether the Narendra Modi wants to declare that this is Narendra Modi's BJP, not RSS. That may be a camouflage. But that camouflage will cost them a lot across India because nobody is ready to accept that if you suck out the blood from the body will be just a skeleton. That is the scenario as far as the BJP and RSS connection is concerned. So Haryana election is very peculiar from see Haryana's every constituency has a different region. Gurgaon has a Yadav region, Bhiwani has a the Yadav and Jats region. If you go to Hisar is a completely Jat dominated. If you go to Sirsa is a Jat plus the Punjabis. 7 lakh scheduled castes are there. I can count you on the constituency wise. Sonipat, they have used 2 Brahmins. BJP has given the ticket to Brahmin. Congress has also given to Brahmins. That is a Jat dominated constituency. Karnal, even Panipat is a Punjabi and Bania West dominated constituency. Even the Khattar is facing the anger in Panipat itself. People are not ready to vote to him because I talked to many Panipat businessmen there. They said, no, if you go to Ambala, Bantu Singh is fighting because of the sympathy wave, but no, the young boy is giving a fight to them. Even in Kurukshetra, Naveen Jindal is not feeling easy. Though Mr. Gupta, AAP candidate, fought this election by telephoning him to Naveen Jindal, hope you are not coming to Kurukshetra. If you are coming, I will not fight. But you see, the table has turned. Then they have this Abhay Chautala is contesting the election to cut the votes, but that is not bringing the fruits on the table. People are not convinced that the Abhay Chautala will be our
Right.
parliamentary candidate. It will be a waste of the vote. So the moral of the story is the voter is very clear-headed in this election that we should not vote where our vote will be wasted. So we will vote for a candidate who is winning, and winning candidate in all probabilities are the Congress candidates. No BJP wave is there, no Modi wave is there, or अब की बार 400 पार का नारा is not working in Haryana at least. That is the scenario.
Yeah, and you very rightly mentioned that there is no Modi wave. There is immense anger against Modi, and especially given the issues which we discussed so far. But you also said that INLD doesn't seem to be having too much of stake in this Lok Sabha election. But Puneet, if I may come to you, and what about what happens to Jananayak Janata Party, Dushyant Chautala's party? What happens to Aam Aadmi Party? They were, clawing for space in a state like Haryana. So where do you see things, and where do you see the prospects of Aam Aadmi Party as well as Jananayak Janata Party in this 2024 elections?
The Aam Aadmi Party, Neelu, is contesting in alliance in Haryana, as Anilji pointed out. So they're contesting the Kurukshetra seat, and so if there is a general pan Haryana sentiment of voting the BJP out, I would assume that at least some of that sentiment would rub off and help the Aam Aadmi Party candidate Sushil Gupta in Kurukshetra also. And so I don't think, I mean, at least when we're talking about the other regional players looking for, political or electoral space in Haryana, then clubbing Aam Aadmi Party with, the JJP and the INLD, at least in this election, is right, because the the Aam Aadmi Party and the Congress are contesting as allies in Haryana. Now, with the JJP and the INLD, the issues are slightly different. INLD, Anilji rightly explained, the issues at stake for them. But with the JJP, I think the problems sort of amplify to a different level, because one, what is the base of the JJP? The JJP is largely a Jat-based party. Now, for a good 4.5 years, you remained in power with the BJP in Haryana. And you may have made certain discordant noises here and there, but you continued to be in power. When the whole farmer agitation happened, when farmers died, when they were fired upon, when the women wrestlers were protesting, all through they were allies of the BJP. And in fact, on several occasions, Dushyant Chautala was pointedly asked by journalists. At least in that sense, Haryana still is a state where you at least have a BJP ally taking questions from reporters. Otherwise, it's difficult to even ask them anything. But Dushyant Chautala was pointedly asked this question, that how is it that you're going to justify all of this to your voters? Why are you still in alliance with the BJP, when clearly, one, it is your vote bank, your support base that is being targeted by the party, and two, none of the policies and programs that you came to the alliance with are being delivered upon by the BJP. So none of those things are happening. And he had no reply on any of those questions, any number of times that they were asked to him. So he is clearly in a pickle. The other issue with him is, which I think political naivete, one can blame it on. But you see, like the Congress at one point was, the BJP today is a party that does not really let its allies thrive. The moment it sees that its purpose has been solved, its first attempt is to gobble up the ally. And so you've seen how, even with the JJP, when this whole issue of the three independents refusing, withdrawing their support from the from the Naib Singh Saini government happened, and there was talk of, a floor test and all of that. The first ones to come out and say that we're going to back the BJP government and to defy their own party, which is the JJP, were JJP MLAs. Because the BJP clearly would have offered whatever, uh, to the MLAs of the JJP. And so, out of the 10 MLAs that the party had won, at least 6 of them are currently, hedging their bets on which way to go. And at least 2 of them have very publicly and repeatedly taken, views that are completely contrary to what Dushyant Chautala has said in public. So the JJP is, it had a lot of potential. It performed surprisingly well in 2019 in the assembly elections. The factors, of course, uh, one needn't go into great details of how that happened, but then it came as a party with a lot of promise, especially with the disintegration of the INLD. Because I mean, it came out of the INLD, and within 5 years, they've completely, or in a big way, lost face. So I don't really see that in this election. Of course, they'll get votes, but I don't see them winning any seats. And I don't even see them getting a very substantial chunk of votes.
Mm. Absolutely. So, like we've discussed more or less the complex situation which exists and where things are just not favoring BJP. So, coming to the last lap of my question, Anil Tyagi, so would you stick out your neck and say, though I think it's a wrong question to ask you right now, but since you said that BJP might not be able to open its account, so can I ask you that does it look like a clean sweep for Congress across 10 seats, or the going is going to be difficult?
See, Neelu, this is quite unwise to tell and predict any seats right now. This will not be wise. But I will add one more thing, what our friend was saying, Puneet was saying, that you must understand the Jananayak Janata Party. They are only in 27 seats, assembly seats,
Yes.
They are in Hisar, Bhiwani, and Sirsa. That is their catchment area. And in that catchment area, there are 3 parliamentary constituencies. Okay, in 27 parliament, and their presence is not much because that is a family party basically. Father is the president, son is the brother is the general secretary, Dushyant Chautala is the face of the party. This and mother is the active worker. So this is basically a family party. People are understanding this. They have the utility, and Dushyant Chautala already has said, as Devilal used to say 50 years ago, I am here in this state for almost 50 years. So election winning and losing is not important. Dushyant Chautala is a lambi race ka ghoda in Haryana. This election, I doubt whether they will be able to save their deposits or not. That is a very difficult thing for them. But yes, in Haryana, scenario is very difficult for the BJP. Winning even a single seat will be a miracle. And I do not know from where people are talking about the 4 seats or 6 seats from Congress. But from where the 4 seats will come from the BJP, I don't see any reason. But people are, are not very outspoken. But I see there is a tornado there within the state. People are just fed up from the BJP, and they want to get rid of this regime. And some votes, and there may be some miracle on the name of the Modi, but I doubt. Only vote the winning seats will be on the probability that who is against Modi. So some people may give the vote that advantage of the Tina factor may be there, otherwise not. I can't predict the seats, but I have predicted the scenario. Thank you.
Well, I'm clinching the word tornado, what you said, but we'll have to wait and watch and see
Yeah.
what happens on 4th June. But yes, complex situation there where the tide is totally against the BJP. And what the visuals, what we are seeing is that BJP leaders are not able to face the peasantry at all. So it's a tough situation, definitely. And one can stick out the neck and say that probably things are not going the way BJP wanted, and BJP wouldn't have thought that the things would go so horribly wrong for the party. Thank you so much, Anil Tyagi. Puneet, it was wonderful having you on the program. And one appeal to the viewers who are watching this discussion: subscribe to our channel, send us a feedback, and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
This summer, meet the magical mermaid at VGP Marine Kingdom from April 12th to May 31st.